What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, back for another video. And this time we're going to take a little break from Amazon and talk about something that I've been doing in my personal life to add another business or add another investment to my portfolio. And we're talking about none other than options. And I'm talking about trading options specifically. And I will say this before I begin, I am a complete dummy when it comes to trading options. So the concepts that I'm about to talk about in this video took me months and months to actually grasp. And to be quite honest with you, I still don't really know shit about it, but I did manage to find an exceptional mentor, and I'm going to talk all about him and what I've managed to be able to do over the past 3 months in this video. So this is going to be a little bit intellectual, which, as we know, sometimes I'm a little bit airheaded, so it might go over my head. Hopefully it doesn't go over your heads, but either way, I am super fired up. I hope you're fired up. Let's go and do this. All right, guys and girls, so as I said before, I'm a complete airhead sometimes when it comes to mathematical things and are having to think about things in a different manner. It sure beats the hell out of me how I managed to win so much money playing poker, other than the fact that I am very good at emotional control, and I do think that trading options or trading in general does take a lot of great emotional control. So on that front, I'm all set. However, on the front of trying to understand these concepts, it took me months and months. However, I did manage to find this guy, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about how I found him, why I picked him, and what I've been able to do on my portfolio thus far. So I think you guys are going to be kind of excited about this. So first and foremost, let's talk about who it is, why I picked him, and how I found him. And I'm going to talk about this site called tradingschools.org, which is kind of like a very well-known site out there for uncovering who is a real trading guru and who is not. And the way they do this is the guy that heads out this particular site will pretty much reach out to the people that are trading gurus, and he'll straight up ask them for proof that they've managed to do all the gains that they say they have. So what I did is I combed through this site and I wanted to find out who did tradingschools.org find to be the most legit traders on the planet. And it was my intention, once I found those traders, to just follow what they do and see if it worked out. And I managed to find 2 people that I was very interested in following. And the first one I haven't done a review video on, but I will do it in the future. And I will also show a sneak peek of how I did with that particular program. But the second one, I've been nothing but thoroughly impressed. And let me talk about why I chose this gentleman and what came about to my decision as to join his alerts. So first and foremost, he seemed to have a stellar record, and although he had a 4 here for cost, you could see what the ratings were for him. Honesty 5, quality 5, cost 4, support 5, verified trades 5, and user experience 5. Now, he didn't get a full-on 5, and let me talk about what actually happened between these 2 guys, which is the owner of Trading Schools and David Jaffee, who's the guy that I say that is like just legit one of the sickest motherfuckers on the planet. I will say that much about him, but I will say that David had a record for being able to turn larger size portfolios and do very well with them. And as I said, all of his trades were verified that he took him, and all of his earnings were verified that he actually won the amount of money that he said he did. However, he was given a 4-point-something rating in the beginning, and the owner of this site said, you know, this is what you got. And David was obviously upset that he didn't get a perfect 5. So David issued a challenge to the owner or vice versa, and he said, all right, the reason that you didn't get a 5 is because you started with a large portfolio, and realistically, a lot of people want to have smaller portfolios. So if you can turn a very small portfolio into a bigger profit, then I would certainly be open to potentially giving you a little more stars. So David took on the challenge, and he actually has a video about this, but he took a challenge where he started with a $5,000 portfolio, and a year later, he was able to gain over 100 and something % on that portfolio. And here's the crazy part, which just made my jaw drop, and I said, man, this guy's a badass. He did it without losing a single trade the entire year. So I want you to imagine that he didn't lose a single options trade the whole year. So as soon as I found that out, all I did was I combed through David's YouTube videos. I watched as much as I could. I consumed as much as I did. Sometimes I watched videos over and over again until at least I felt comfortable with all the information that I took in. And I will say this much, to sign up for his service, I think it's $300 and something. I'm currently signed up. I've been signed up for 3 months now. There is a 7-day trial for, I believe, $20. I signed up for that. I tried that out. And I also noticed a couple other YouTube videos where people did the same thing, and they too had success in the very first week. So in my very first week, I did have some success. I'm going to log into my E-Trade account and show you guys what I've been able to do since then. In total, it looks like I'm up just close to $4,000 in 3 months, starting with $25,000. Now, I want you to remember, a lot of people might say like, Liz, I don't have $25,000. I can't do that. However, David took a $5,000 portfolio and doubled it within a year. So It might take you a little longer to build up. However, this guy is legit and he's legit winning. And so let's talk about what I took, why I took, and then what I learned, what I did wrong, etc. All right, so first off, I started this challenge with somebody else's program, which was not options, it was stocks. And I'll show you the date that I actually started this. So I'm gonna head back on over to August 30th and you'll see that I had 0. So August 30th, I wasn't doing anything. And then we'll take a look at September and you'll see that sometime in September, I started doing something. And now that wasn't with David, but it was with somebody else. And I'll talk about that in another video. And I did gain some money in September, right? But let's get into the real date. I started with David on or around the 5th of November. And right now we're in February 9th. So that's almost 3 full months that I've been doing this. And we'll go from November 5th all the way on out to right now, which is February 9th. And we'll see that in total, it's been about 3277. So I was a little bit off. I said 4,000, but 3277, which means I made about an average of maybe $1,050 per month. And that's with the $25,000 starting thing. And I will say this much, there was a couple of huge mistakes that I did make, but you can see all the trades that I took here. And again, like I said, a lot of them were mistakes because I didn't really understand the system. So I do recommend that if you're going to do this, you probably do want a decent amount of money, at least to cover the weekly or the daily calls that David does give. But I will say that it is legitimate, one of the coolest things that I've ever actually signed up for. It takes me about 10 minutes maximum per day. I read his write-ups, which he sends on WhatsApp, which I'll share with you guys here in a second. And I take the trades that he tells me to. And while I have not had a single losing trade, I am trading spreads as opposed to naked puts and or naked calls, which again, like I said, is going to get a little complicated in this. Like if you told me there was something called the naked call, I would have thought it was a booty call about 3 months ago, but come to know there is something that's called a naked call in options trading. And it was all thoroughly explained in his actual free YouTube videos that you can see right now. And I will say this much, he does have a program, which I have not looked at. I just straight up took the daily calls, and that's been enough to kind of help me at least understand and do well enough where I made 3,200 so far. And you'll see that I'm currently in a couple trades. And so again, it's been nothing but a great learning experience. And while I've messed up many times, there was only one trade that I took the entire 3 months where I was in the money, which you'll come to realize what that is if you do study up his stuff. And I was only $1 in the money, but understanding what my maximum loss is because I'm trading spreads is just phenomenal. And it makes me feel really comfortable as opposed to trading the way he does, which is naked puts and calls. And he does give you that option. He explains the differences in his videos in depth. And as I said before, it's been the most beneficial money I've spent on a month-to-month basis with anyone. So let's go and take a look at the trades that I've taken. But as I said before, 3,277 as of February, and I'm currently in a bunch of other trades right now. So let's see what I'm currently in. All right, you can see from what's going on here year to date, I'm at $1,458. And right here, the value of my account is now $30,586, and I'm down $6 on the day. So if I actually wanted to jump into my portfolio here to show you guys the trades I've taken, I even made a mistake on this last run around. And it looks like I might have taken a naked put right here down, which I'm not even sure about. But I will say this much, in case I do need it, David does offer phone calls at a very decent price. And he has just been nothing but beneficial. I've heard a ton of his videos, and I'm just super stoked about what the future holds for my investment. And I will say this much, I did not know what the hell I was doing in the beginning. I just completely kept on listening to him, kept on believing in what was going on. And now my account is at over $30,588. And I started this challenge with approximately $25,000. So somehow I'm up to $6,000 in a couple months, which a lot of people could be like, oh, Liz, that's not a lot of money. You started with a bunch. But the reality is it really is, if you think about it, as this will compound since I have no intention of pulling anything out other than the monthly fee that it takes to manage this. And that's what I've been able to do with this all together. And as I said before, I will make sure that I update you guys periodically, at least once a month, to let you know how this account is going and how well it's doing. And I'm super fired up about what the future holds. If you want to take a look at what David does have to offer, I do have some links below. Please keep in mind they are affiliate links and I will receive a commission. But again, I did all the legwork. I had faith in this guy's system. I followed him. I continue to follow him to this day, and I am a verified paying member of all the opportunities that he does offer. Because as I said before, I saw him on trading school. I believe that he worked. I followed him. I did the legwork. And yes, in fact, it does work. So questions in her comments, post them below. I will try to answer them with the best of my ability. But again, remember, I am a complete noob at this, and I'm only following a master of his trade. I found the guy that I want to follow. Now I'm going to do exactly what he tells me to do. And guess what? So far, it has paid off, and it's paid off big. So I'm super fired up about this opportunity. I hope you guys are too. Let me know if you have anything else you want to talk about. Post it below, and I will see you all in the next video.